boys and girls, and welcome to Missy Lane's Book Nook. I'm glad you joined me here today, and I hope you're feeling just fine. We're at the tail end of April, and I love this month because in April, we celebrate National Library Week. So we get to think about all the wonderful things we love about the library. So on today's Book Nook episode, I thought we'd celebrate with books that are about going to the library, children who love to visit the library, and even animals who use the library. Can that be? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Are you ready to listen to a story with me? Great. We're going to start with Lola at the library. Lola loves Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, Lola and her mommy go to the library. That's their special day together. The library opens at 9 o'clock, but Lola is ready to go long before that. She puts all the books she borrowed last week in her backpack. Her library card is also very important. You need your library card to check out books, right, boys and girls? You knew that. The library is not very far away, so Lola and her mommy always walk there. Do you walk to the library or do you drive to the Bethel Park Library? You do? Great. Lola and her mommy give back the books from last week. The librarian buzzes them through the machine. There's a special section in the library just for children. It's really cool. Nobody ever says, shh. Sometimes they're singing. Lola knows all the words and the hands for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The Bethel Park Library has a special section for children. Did you know that? Yeah, we love it when you come here to play. Sometimes there's a story time. Lola loves that. After story time, Lola chooses her books. In the library, she can have any book she wants. Lola likes stories with bears and anything with shoes. There are so many, it takes ages to choose. There's so many good books on the shelf, she just can't decide. Mommy has some books too. The librarian buzzes them through the machine and then stamps the date inside. Lola must bring them back in 2 weeks, but she'll probably be back way before then. We don't stamp our books inside anymore, but we give you a receipt, and you can keep books from the Bethel Park Library for 3 weeks. Lola and her mommy always get a snack after visiting the library. Mommy has a cappuccino, and Lola has juice. Whenever Lola has been good, her mommy lets her taste the foam. Cappuccino tastes yummy. Then it's time to go home again. Every night after Lola is tucked in bed, her mommy reads her a story. It's the best way to end the day. I love bedtime stories, don't you, boys and girls? Yeah, and I do sure hope that you'll visit the library just like Lola has, because it is a great place to come and play. This book is called Book, Book, Book. It's by Deborah Bruss. Down at the farm, all was well until the children went back to school and the animals had nothing to do. They had no rides to share, no tug of war to play, no one to scratch behind their ears or ruffle their feathers. In the bright morning sun, the horse hung his head. The cow complained, and the goat grumbled. The pig pouted, the duck dozed off, and the hen heaved a sigh. Long about noon, with the sign high above the barnyard, the hen squawked, "I'm bored, and I'm heading to town to find something to do." The animals followed her down the road. "Look," clucked the hen, "happy faces. This must be the place we're looking for. I'll go in and see if I can find something to do." "Nay, nay," whinnied the horse. "You're too small for such a big job. Leave it to me." The horse is going to go into the library. There he goes. The horse clip-clopped in. Politely, he asked for something to do. But the librarian could not understand the horse. All she heard was, Nay! Nay! So the horse hung his head and clip-clopped out. Next, the cow plodded in. Politely, she asked for something to do, but the librarian could not understand the cow either. All she heard was moo, moo. So the cow complained and plodded out. Who's going to go in next? Oh, it's the goat's turn. Now it's the goat's turn, and he trotted in. Politely, he asked for something to do, but the librarian could not understand the goat. All she heard was bah, bah. So the goat grumbled and trotted out again. Slowly, the pig ambled into the library. Politely, she asked for something to do, but the librarian only heard so the pig ambled out to tell her friends. Up flapped the hen, and she announced, I'm going in, and no one is going to stop me. Into the library she flapped. There she goes. There's the hen. Book! Clucked the hen politely. The librarian looked around and said, What's that noise? Book, book! Clucked the hen. The librarian scratched her head. Who's that? She asked. Book, book, book! Clucked the hen quite clearly. Oh, is this what you want? Asked the librarian, and she handed the hen 3 books. When the hen clucked, it sounded like she was saying book, didn't she? Book, book, book. Can you try that at home? Let's cluck like a hen. Book, book, book. So the librarian knew what she was asking for. Look, they got books, and there they go, back on the farm. Back at the farm, the horse, the cow, the goat, the pig, the duck, and the hen gathered around the books. The barnyard was filled with neighs, moos, bahs, oinks, quacks, and books. Their sounds of delight lasted all the way until sundown. All the animals were happy, except for the bullfrog. And do you know what he said? What do you think the froggy said? I already read it. Do you get it, boys and girls? What does a frog say? Ribbit, ribbit. But this frog said, read it. He already read the book. He needed another one. I guess he'll have to take a trip to the library. He'll have to hop on over, won't he? Great job. Boys and girls, I'm going to sing you another song. We'll sing it together, actually. And I'm going to show you a little video that was filmed right here at the Bethel Park Library. And this song is by Tom Chapin, and it's called The Library Song. I hope you enjoy it.
Saturday morning and the rain is pouring. Dad worked late last night. He's in there snoring. Same old stuff on TV, boring. So what if I can't go out and play? I know what I'll do today. I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Now I like books and they like me, so when I go to the library, I sit down in my favorite chair and check to see who's there. Maybe one book, maybe two. Take me home, says Winnie the Pooh. And if we have to travel far, I'll bring my honey jar. Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Sleeping Beauty yawned and said, I'll come when I get out of bed. But Madeline says, let her nap, and jumps into my lap. The Cat in the Hat says, hey, I'll go. Don't take him, cries Pinocchio. Don't take that cat to your address, he always makes a mess. Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Mrs. Parker's back behind the checkout desk today. The Cheshire Cat jumps on her head and says, "Let's play." But Mrs. P says, "Goodness, are you sure you want all these?" "Oh yes," we shout together. She says, "Shh, quiet, please. I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out." The seven dwarfs begin to shout, "Say, take us with you, check us out." Then Cinderella gets her gown and Babar grabs his crown. And then Curious George swings from the shelf. Along comes Mother Goose herself. Out the door we danced and sang, the whole library rang. Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. I'm going down to the library. Shh. Check it in, check it out.
All right, we're back. What did you think about that video? I hope you enjoyed it. That's one of my very favorite Tom Chapin songs ever. Let's read another story about a little girl who loves to go to the library. Her name isn't Lola. This little girl's name is Isabella. This book is called Isabella, Star of the Story. And this one is by Jennifer Fosbury. "Slow down, Isabella," Father said. "Those books aren't going anywhere." "Oh, yes, they are. Some looky books are going home with me," the little girl said. "And my name is not Isabella." "Then whose library card is this?" asked Mother. "I am Peter Pan, and I'm flying 2 stars to the right and straight on into the children's room." "Well, Peter," the mother said, "I know that you will never outgrow a good story." Look, she's pretending that she's flying into the library. She's pretending that she's Peter Pan. "Mrs. Darling, let's start with this one," the little girl said. "Oh, and my name is not Peter." "Then who just handed me this book?" asked the mother. "I am Goldilocks, and I'm searching for a book that is not too short and not too long." "Well, Goldie," the father said, "then we should look for some fairy tales." This girl loves using her imagination, doesn't she? You know the story of the 3 little bears. She was pretending to be Goldilocks. I wonder who she's going to pretend to be next. "Enchanting idea, and even a little bit grim," the little girl said. "And my name is not Goldilocks." "Then who will tell me if this book is just right?" asked the father. "I am Captain Nemo, and I'm on a legendary dive." "Aye, aye, Captain," the father said. 20,000 leagues we go." Isabella sure does know a lot of stories, doesn't she? "I just hope it's not too deep," the little girl said. "And my name is not Captain Nemo." "Then who's just in charge of this search?" asked the father. "I am Black Beauty, and I'm galloping off to greener pastures for a fantastic tale." "Well, giddy up, my beauty," said the mother. "Do you want to take this one out?" "Nay! I mean, yes, please," the little girl said. "And my name is not Black Beauty." "Then who will trot over here and put that book in the bag?" asked the mother. "I am Alice, and I'm following a little white rabbit on an epic adventure." Who is she pretending to be now? Do you know this story? Or do you know this movie? Boys and girls, do you recognize it? It's from Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? "Alice, don't lose your head," the mother said. "Are you sure you want this book?" "We would be mad not to take that book home with us," the little girl said. "And my name is not Alice." Then who's going to use their library card today? Asked the mother. Do you have any guesses? There's a clue over here, boys and girls. Who is she going to pretend to be next? Who wears ruby red slippers? You guessed it. You're right. I am Dorothy, and I've been twisted away to a wonderful world, but now I'm trying to get back. Well, Dorothy, the librarian said, just follow the yellow brick road. To the checkout desk, dear. Yes, and I think we have enough books, and there really is no place like home, the little girl said. And my name is not Dorothy. Then whose name is on the library card? Asked the librarian. It's me, Isabella, said the little girl. Just someone who loves a good book. And as the little girl and her family headed home, the father said, Isabella, it's awfully late. There will be only time for one story before bed. That's okay, Isabella said. We'll pick one for tonight, and we can curl up and read the rest of them tomorrow. Oh, she's happy, isn't she? She sure does love her books. I wonder which one she read that night. I don't know. Great job, boys and girls. Now I want to teach you one more song, and this song is called I Love Books. Okay, you ready to learn it with me? I love books. They love me. I get them free at the library. Check them out once, check them out twice. Library books are oh so nice. I love books and they love me. Will you try singing that at home with me? Good, here we go. I love books. They love me. I get them free at the library. Read them once, read them twice. Library books are oh so nice. I love books and they love me. You love books too, don't you, boys and girls? I know you do. So let's end with one more story on this episode of Book Nook. We're going to end with a tale called Library Mouse. And this one is by Daniel Kirk. Sam was a library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books, and he thought that life was very good indeed. Look at his little home. You see all the books out there? He's looking through his little hole. Every day when the library was full of people walking up and down the aisles, studying, checking out books, and working on the computers, Sam was curled up in his little hole, sound asleep. Every night when the people went home and the room was dark and quiet, the library belonged to Sam. Oh, so he came out at night to explore. And every night Sam read and read and read and he read. Sam read picture books and chapter books. He read biographies and poetry, cookbooks and sports books, fairy tales and ghost stories, and mysteries by the dozen. Oh, Sam's a good reader. Sam's mind was filled with facts and information and images of faraway places, and his imagination brimmed over with wonder and fantasy. One night, Sam decided that it was time he wrote a book of his own. Sam wants to become an author. Interesting. Sam folded over some little squares of paper he took from the librarian's desk to make the pages, and then he found a pencil that he rolled underneath a shelf, and he began to write. Write what you know. Sam had read that in a book about writing once. So Sam wrote about being a mouse. He drew the pictures for his book by posing in his little mirror and then sketching what he saw. So he's the author and the illustrator of this new book. Sam worked very, very hard, and finally his first book was done. He called it Squeak, A Mouse's Life, and he wrote on the cover, Words and Pictures by Sam. He went to the autobiography section of the library, and he tucked his first book onto the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. What's he waiting for? Do you think Sam is waiting for someone to check out his book? Do you think somebody will find Sam's book on the shelf? Maybe. I like the title. I like that Sam called it Squeak. That's a good one. Well, the next afternoon, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a girl whose teacher had sent her to the library to do a book report. "I've never seen anything like this before," said the librarian, and she put Squeak, A Mouse's Life, on her desk. Later, she showed it to the other librarians. Sam decided to write another book. It was called The Lonely Cheese, and working on the book made him feel hungry. It was a good thing that he always found so many crumbs to eat by the trash basket in the hallway. When he finished the illustrations, Sam scurried to the picture book section and proudly placed his latest book on the shelf. And then he went back to his little hole and he waited. The Lonely Cheese by Sam. The next morning, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a little boy who was looking for a big book about trucks. "It's another book by Sam," said the librarian. "Just who is this Sam?" she thought to herself, and she put The Lonely Cheese on her desk. Later, she showed it to the children at story time. Sam decided to write a book. It was called The Mystery of Mouse Mansion, and it gave Sam goosebumps when he wrote down the scary parts. The full moon was shining down through the windows of the darkened library when Sam crept over to the mystery section and sneakily placed his book on the shelf. And then he went back to his little hole and what? He waited. You know it. He's waiting for someone to check out the Mystery Mansion. The next day, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a teenager who was looking for a good, creepy book to read before bed. "We've got to find out who this Sam is," said the librarian. "I'll leave a note on the bulletin board and tell him that I would like to meet our new author." She put The Mystery of Mouse Mansion on her desk, and later she showed it to the writing class that came in after school. That night, Sam found the note. It read, "Dear Sam, all of us at the library have been enjoying your books immensely. We are all wondering who this mystery Sam really is. Whoever you are, you certainly have a lot of talent. Not everyone has it in them to write even a single book, let alone 3. We think it would be fun to have a Meet the Author Day with you as our special guest. The children would love to hear you read your books and share some of your secrets for writing. Yours truly, Mrs. Forrester, Head Librarian." What's Sam going to do? He can't really come out of his hole and talk to the kids, can he? They would be so surprised if they found out the author was a mouse. What's he going to do? Sam felt very nervous. He was happy that the children at the library liked his books. He was flattered that they wanted to meet him. But mice, as a rule, are very shy when it comes to meeting people. Sam could not understand why people thought that writing and making up stories was so hard. If only they would try, they might find out that writing was really lots of fun. Sam had an idea. He went to the librarian's desk and got some supplies. All night long, he wrote and drew and snipped and folded and stapled his little rectangles of paper into mouse-sized books. What is Sam thinking now? He's a smart mouse. What idea has come to him now? In the morning, when the librarian opened the children's room, there was a sheet of paper taped to the door. "Meet the author today," it read. A little girl was the first to see Sam's display set up on the front table. "What's this?" she asked. There sat a tissue box with a pair of pencils taped to the sides and a banner stretched across the top. On the banner was written, "Meet the author," with an arrow pointing down. Meet the author. Is Sam inside that box? Is he hiding in there? He could fit in there, that's for sure. Oh, guess what? It wasn't Sam in there. He put a mirror in there. Let's find out why. The girl bent over to look in the empty tissue box. "Oh," she said in surprise. For there at the bottom of the box lay Sam's little mirror, and in the mirror the little girl saw her own face smiling up at her. "Me?" she said. "An author?" Next to the mirror was a stack of tiny blank books and a pile of pencils that Sam had sharpened with his little teeth. Oh, he wants to show the boys and girls that they can be authors too, that anybody could write a story, even you, boys and girls. All that day, and for many more thereafter, people came to the little display to meet the author. Soon there was a whole shelf full of books written and illustrated by people who had never written a book before, telling stories that never had been told. They all wrote their own little books. Look at some of the titles. When I Grow Up by Adam. The Perfect Pet by, I don't know what that says. Zip Zoom by Mike. The Smartest Dog by Maddie. In the Library by Izzy. Lots of great titles. If you were to write a book, boys and girls, what would you write about? I would love to hear your stories someday. Sam was a library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books. All that night, Sam sat in his hole, thinking and thinking about the next book he would write. Would it be a mystery, an adventure, a funny book, a true story? There were just so many stories to tell. Aha, he thought, I'll just have to write one of each. So Sam picked up his pencil and got to work. The end. So maybe Sam the library mouse has given you a bit of inspiration. Maybe you boys and girls at home could write your own story today and draw pictures to go along with it. And if you do, I would love it if you brought it into the library to share with me. And it'll just prove that anybody could be an author and an illustrator, just like Sam in our story. Well, thank you for joining me on today's Book Nook, boys and girls, and thank you for celebrating National Library Week with me. I hope you had a fantastic April, and I'll see you next month in May. Bye-bye.
Don't take him, cries Pinocchio. Don't take that cat to your address. He always makes a mess. Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Mrs. Parker's back behind the checkout desk today. The Cheshire Cat jumps on her head and says,